All right, traders, it is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. We are setting up for a phenomenal trading week. I'm going to be sharing with you our new key levels of interest on where we are planning to buy call options to make money as the market's going up, and where we are planning to buy put options to make money as the market's going down. I will prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices and show you how we are planning to make money trading both ways heading into this week. We're going to be starting off with breaking down the daily chart. Then from there, we're going to be taking a look at the 10-day, 30-minute level to break down our overall key levels. Let's get straight into this analysis. Make sure that you are setting your price alerts at these key levels. And in terms of how I personally trade these key levels, I scalp them very, very quickly. Right? So I scalp them very, very quickly at the money or barely out of the money. If I'm buying barely out of the money, I sell them right back in the money. Super quick scalps, 3 to 5 minute trades, sometimes 10, 15, 20 minutes. Let's get straight into it. So in terms of the SPY, this is what I'm going to be bringing awareness to, the daily chart. So the daily chart is trying to go bullish for this week. It's trying to push a little bit higher overall this week. The previous resistance right here, which is at $445.22, this is going to be make or break. The SPY has been trying to form support here. It has been trying to turn this previous resistance level at 445.22 into support. Last week, the SPY kept bottoming at 443, 444. These were all previous resistance levels where we were buying calls for the first time, initial reaction, using that strategy where the SPY breaks above resistance, then it drops back down to the previous resistance. You buy the dip because it's supposed to react to support because it had a nice breakout. We did that at 443. We did it at 444. And now it's trying to form support at 445. So this is what I'm going to say for the short term. For the short term, this can go either way. But in terms of this week, like later into this week, if it's not going to happen early into the week, this is what I currently believe based off the daily chart. I do believe we are going to go to at least 447.11 to 448. The reason why I'm saying that is SPY has been turning previous resistance levels into support on the initial reaction, and those levels were at 443, 444, 445. So it keeps on trying to form some higher support. Now, in terms of how this daily candlestick looks, which is another reason, why I think we're going to hit 447 to 448. And again, I'm not saying right away. It could be later into this week, and I'll be explaining to you my game plan for that. But this candlestick right here, based off of this daily chart, the SPY is going to try to retest the high of this wick at 447. Because that's what it's supposed to do based off the daily chart, based off the pattern, based off everything I said. And SPY loves retesting the high of these green wicks. So those are my overall reasons for bullish. So how do I play that? There's two ways to play it. You can go with oversold levels, or you can try to buy at a higher level with a very tight stop loss, right? Because it could be a situation where we drop first and the oversold level on calls are going to absolutely bank. I do believe if we do drop first, the levels that I'm going to be giving you for the calls are going to absolutely work phenomenal. And then it could be another situation where we don't drop first and a higher level plays out. So you're going to have to use the confirmations, and you're going to have to be very strategic with your confirmations if you're going to be going with this higher level. Because like I said, we could drop first. Based off of what I'm seeing, we're supposed to go to 447 to 448 this week. Now, in terms of how this is playing out and how I'm seeing it, it could be until later, not right away. So you have to trade the key levels. You have to identify price action. You have to trade what you're seeing. You have to react. So what do you need to understand? This is what you need to understand. You need to understand that this 445.42 level is basically everything. Basically, where the SPY had closed is everything. So I need you to understand that this 445 zone, 445, 445.50 is make or break support. You're gonna want to go with this 440.85 and 445.52. That is a zone. If the zone is reacting bullish, it's forming bullish confirmations, the candlestick patterns that I teach you, you're seeing reasons to get in, it's forming a floor, then it's going to go overall bullish, and they're going to shoot this up to that 447, 448 range. Now, in order to flip bearish and drop first, it needs to maintain under 445.52, and it needs to crack below 440.80. If we do crack below 440.80, it forms a roof, it forms a resistance level, then the SPY is going to start to go bearish. So that is going to be our make or break zone. And like I said, this could be one of those situations where it does end up dropping first, But no matter what, in terms of this week, based off of everything that I've seen with the chart, I do think later into the week, we should see 447, 448. So it is my job to determine the zone, if it's going to be support, 440.80, 445.52, use a very, very tight stop. I'll be looking for strong bullish confirmations, right? If it reacts bearish, then I will see, in terms of the levels, this is make or break. You need to understand, man, look at this. This is critical, man. Look, right here, look at this, man. This is such an important level. This is so important. So I want you to take a look at this. This like 440, what is this? This triggered the craziest crash. Look at this, man. 443.50, when that support, dropped, triggered a crazy crash. In terms of the resistance levels was right here at 446 and 444.80. Yeah, see, man, look at this, 445.22. So the point is, if they can't turn this support level into support and we go under that 440.80, it's going to free fall and it's going to have a very, very nice drop. That's what it's going to do, right? If it reacts to support, then we're pushing to 447, 448. Now, based off of what I know, I value this in terms of later into the week at 447 to 448. So if the SPY went bearish, where would I be interested in buying call options? If the SPY went bearish, where would I wait for those call options instead of buying at a higher level with a tight stop? There's no reason to get in, right? And you could try puts at 445 if you see bearish reasons to get in. We're in a zone right now. And understand the zone is make or break. This was make or break previous resistance. It keeps on trying to form higher support. But what they might likely do is they might try to scare all the bulls out first, decay the calls, make it look like it's going bearish. And then when it's at our key level for calls, if it goes bearish, they're going to try to flip it bullish, and then it's going to hit our level. That's another thing they might do. So you have to trade the chart, trade what you see. So in terms of the levels for calls, the best way you can play this is go with key support levels that have not been tested yet, like the double bottoms. We did this all last week, and it worked out absolutely phenomenal. So what are the key levels on the SPY that you need to be paying attention to? The first one is going to be this one, 442.80. 442.80 is a very key overall support level. You can keep an eye on it. I don't consider it the best level, but I will be showing some interest at 442.80. That's going to be my first level for calls. That is key support, and it hasn't really been tested in that sense, but it did already play out here, multiple times. But this candlestick right here has not been tested. So when it does hit 442.80, they will try to spike this. Look at this, man. This has not been tested at 442.80, and when it hit 442.80, they shot this all the way up to $445 almost in just 30 minutes. So that's going to be my first level for calls. You can call it like $443. Now, the next level for calls, this should work out absolutely phenomenal, is going to be 440.90. 441, this level right here, this is support that has not been tested yet. That's going to be a phenomenal level to be buying call options. Our last level for calls will be the absolute best, the most oversold one, is going to be $440. We have a gap to fill below at $440. That's going to be our true best level for calls. So that's the overall game plan. So right now, if you're planning to trade towards market open, you are simply looking to identify if the zone 440.80 to 445.50, 446 is reacting bearish or bullish to make that trade, right? So that's a key level we will be focusing on. That's a key zone. If it reacts bearish, we can consider puts, tight stop. If it reacts bullish, we consider calls, tight stop, right? But in the back of our minds, based off of what we know with this daily chart, at the moment, I am valuing SPY, not right away, like I said, because I need to see confirmations. But in terms of the end of the week, I am valuing this at 447 to 448, and that can change as time goes on. As the chart changes, as the candlesticks, continue to print, my analysis will change with that. I will adapt. I will react. I will cut losses quickly. I will stay adaptable. That's what you got to do within this market. You can't be sold and closed on one bias. As the candles are changing, as the confirmations are forming, things are going to change. And if you don't react with that change, you will be left behind in the past where that history that you're playing with is not going to repeat itself because it has no reason to repeat itself, right? I use a strategy where history tends to repeat itself. So in order for it to repeat itself, there has to be something building up, something brewing, some sort of confirmation that is confirmed that that pattern is going to repeat itself. And that's where the ability comes with, reading the market, reading price action, understanding confirmations, understanding how to trade price action, reacting, trading what you see instead of what you think. So those are our levels for calls. Now, let's discuss put options. So in terms of put options, I gave you the middle zone, 445.50 to 448.80. If it reacts bearish, obviously the higher level you're going to want to go at if it reacts bearish. Now, I'm a little bit, in a sense, I'm a little bit concerned to do puts at those levels because, like I said, later this week, I value this at 447 to 448 right now. So puts aren't the most interesting thing to me, but if I see a confirmation, I could try it. But based off of what I know and how I think, I would just rather look for oversold opportunities on calls. But like I said, it could be a situation where they try to drop it first, then it flips super bullish at our lower oversold levels, which is completely normal, right? So in terms of the best levels for puts, let's go with this. Let's say the SPY goes a little bit bullish into this week, later into this week, like we think it's going to do later into this week at the moment. This is all the stuff I say can change as time goes on. And that's where being in the Discord server really, really helps with those real-time updates because we trade what we see with the candlestick confirmations. But it's very, very simple. In terms of puts, if we're going with great levels to be buying put options, this is extremely simple. We've been waiting for, some new levels. So here, let's go over this real quick. Man, I'm not sure what just happened to my charts there. It looks a little bit different. But anyways, this level right here, $448. So what I want you to understand is this 448 level, 447.70 to 448, that little zone, there's actually a little gap here. You can see the little gap on the 1 minute chart. It's a lot more visible, but you can see there's a little gap here as well. It's going to show in the 5 minute as well. So when the SPY fills this little intraday gap, right, it's going to try to reverse and it's going to try to crash initially. So we're very interested in doing puts at 447.80 to 448. I've been waiting over a week for that trading opportunity, right? So we're just sending these price alerts, waiting to trade the best setups to these prices. In the meantime, we might do a trade that's not as good with a super tight stop, only if there's a strong confirmation at a decent level that was formed with a new bull bear trap that I don't go over in these videos. You got to be in the Discord. So 447.80 to 448, that's our first level for puts. Now, in terms of our second level for puts, it is going to be at the gap. There is a gap that is waiting to fill above at 449.20. We are interested in playing puts there for a gap close reversal. And our third level, which will be the best level possible for puts as of now, is going to be this gap right here. We have another gap to fill right here at 451. Always use dojis, man. When you see dojis form, it could be on any time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute. When you see dojis form at our key levels, play the reversals. You're always going to want to do that. Look at this little gravestone, lone leg doji here at the resistance, right at the gap. Then it sells off, and then it forms a lower high right here. Previous support reacts as a resistance. That's where we short and more dojis, bearish confirmations. Man, the 5 minute chart is an absolute beauty, but you can do that with the 1 minute chart as well. So make sure you're looking for those dojis at our key levels. They're the best candlesticks. The wicks too. I love the wicks. I love the dojis. This stuff is very, very simple. You just got to wait for the right candlesticks to actually form and wait for the bull traps and the bear traps to get created. For example, SPY nearly closed the gap, bearish candlesticks, time to get in, sell into the dip. When it spikes back up to the previous support right here where it was consolidating before it crashed, right here, this is where the bull trap got triggered and it crashed. You're going to short the retest, sell into the dip, call it for the day, take your money, and do whatever it is that you want to do. So that's very, very simple. I'm planning to do that at all of the resistance levels that I've given out if I'm seeing reason to do so, trading what I see with the confirmations. So 451 will be our next best level for puts. So my friends, that is all of our key levels as of now heading into this week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get the newly updated key levels. Now, I'm going to give you a quick price ladder. So in terms of the price ladder, this is how it works. If one of the levels reacts as a support level, we will spike up to the next level. If one of the levels reacts as a resistance level, we will go down to the next level. Not each level is created equally. Some have wider brackets, some have bigger risk to rewards, and some have less risk to rewards. So understand that. I gave you the levels where I'm planning to trade at. These other levels are just support and resistance levels in a sense. We're talking about the ones that we haven't mentioned that I'm going to be breaking down. The point is, it's going to help you understand where price is headed. For price targets, it's going to help you understand where the overall price action is headed so you know what's supposed to happen if it reacts to support or resistance. These are not the best setups at the best prices. If I see a confirmation to get in, I might make a trade here, but I don't value it to be the best, right? So this is used to just identify where overall price is heading. Best level for puts, 451, 451.20, 451. That's where we want to do puts. And the level below that is going to be 449.30, right? So you can see that's a wide zone. That's a very, very wide zone. You see how that's a wider zone? It's like a 2-point type of drop zone, right? The level under that is going to be $448. And again, these are all the levels. You know the levels, I mentioned them, where we're interested in doing the best setups. The level below that is going to be 447. So you see that's only a 1-point drop, 447. I'm not too interested in 447. Like I said, that's just the level. I'm interested in 448. So 447 is the next level under that. Next level below that is going to be 446. Not too interested in 446. I'll keep an eye on it, but that's the next level. Next zone below that is 445.50 to 440.80. That's like the middle zone. I'll keep an eye on it. Not the best place to be trading in the middle. We try to avoid the middle, right? The level below that is going to be this support at $444. It already played out in a sense. I'm not too interested in this level. I'll keep an eye on it. The next level under that is going to be 442.80. I like that level. I'll keep an eye out for calls. And then the levels below that, $440. Yeah, $440. That was key support that was never tested. And then we have a gap to fill at, this was the key support that was never tested at 441. And then we have a gap to fill at 440. If you see a bullish daily candlestick at the lower level for calls right before the market closes, trend reversal, bullish candlestick at like 3:55 p.m. right before market closes, you can try to swing trade calls if that's something you're interested in doing. If you see a bearish or a trend reversal daily candlestick right before the market closes, you can try to swing trade puts if that's what you're interested in doing. That's how I tend to swing trade. My swing trades, in a sense, are typically scalps. Sometimes I look to hold longer, but the way I enter my swing trades is like a scalp, which basically means, in terms of the way I enter my swing trades, I really don't make any profit the first day I enter because I enter right before the market closes because I use a daily candlestick confirmation that it is going to work within my favor. So I just want to clarify that because you can use those levels for swing trading, not just day trading. Obviously, for swing trading, you need to be going with the lower levels for calls and the higher levels for puts. Avoid the middle. So that, my friends, is our game plan, and I'm going to leave it at this. I am on a crazy win streak, and it is going to continue. I am performing at my absolute best, and this is the best time to join Trader Society. If you do want to be a part of my program, Trader Society, it is going to be the first link in the description down below. You can see right here in terms of our polls, the results are speaking for themselves. The amount of people that have made back the cost of this program multiple times, the cost of what I charge for a one-time fee, lifetime access within their first week is truly insane. That's why the program's doing so amazing, because it works. If you are interested in making money, this is the best program for you. This is what we do. We've mastered making money. We know how to take money out of the market, and it is all within that SPY floor. The SPY floor is where the lead moderators are going to alert their trades in real time. I post my key levels, my newly updates. This video is just my nightly video. I post pre-market updates, and then I post my updates when the market is open, which is the most important. Confirmations, new levels, everything you need to know in real time with my real-time trade alerts as well, right? So if you do want to be a part of Trader Society, all the information is explained in the first link down below in terms of what you get with the program. But like I said, it's very simple. We make money. So if you want to take money out the market and you want to surround yourself with a couple of multi-millionaire moderators who can help assist you with that, this is going to be the right program for you. So with that being said, that is our plan, and we will continue to crush the market. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open.